Hello and welcome to Ranting and Raving podcast with myself, Wayne Scott Fox, and
Mickey Williams.
And this is brand new. I've been hinting to people for a while that I'm setting up a podcast, and I've teamed up with my brother-in-law. Built a studio, which is in several parts. You've saw me on my lives there. You've all seen my background in my lives. Mickey's got his side there, which you can see. We've also got another DJ side over there, which will... Nothing really to do with this, but it is. It's a long story. So what we plan on doing is bringing something that's, could we even say different because the amount of podcasts that are out there at the minute?
Don't know if it's different, but I don't think there are many yam-yams on a podcast.
You're a yam-yam.
I am a yam-yam.
No, not me. You'll hear me, for those of you, like, because I've got a lot of followers all around the country and stuff, you'll hear the difference in how I talk to Mickey.
You won't hear the difference. You'll hear Wayne putting on an accent that isn't his.
This is how I speak. Hang on a minute.
It's not how you speak. You're a yam-yam.
You've never heard me try and say, oh, I called her that, how you going, and blah, blah, blah.
You're a yam-yam, Wayne. Just accept it. You got your dingle.
I am.
You got your dingle mug on your desk there.
Yeah.
They're yam-yams as well.
Yeah. But you'll hear the difference in the way that we speak. But I tell you something, at least it's not as bad as the Brummie accent.
We're more black country mush.
So we're ultimately, as you can probably tell from behind me, going to be talking about music, films, TV shows.
Any load of bollocks, really.
Yeah, football. Football will be a big one because Mickey's a big Liverpool fan. I'm a big Wolves fan. But we're also very supportive of local clubs. And obviously because we're both from Walsall, our second club is Walsall. What we will not be doing is talking about politics or religion.
Yeah, fuck them.
Because you can't win.
No.
You can't win. So, and the second we start taking sides or believing what we believe in something, we'll have viewers not agreeing with that, other than that, and all this bullshit will be going on. And I would like, none of pathetic people watching me anyway, to be fair. But just to stop that, we're not going to deal with any politics. We don't care who you believe. What God you believe in, what religion. We don't care who you support, who you think is good for the country or not. That's up to you. That's your choice. You keep it. All right.
In the meantime, we'll just chat bollocks.
We'll try and keep it funny. There'll be some good funny, but there'll be some motivational stuff as well. We're going to talk about a lot of. You all know what I've dealt with PTSD, and that we'll talk you through that. And all stuff. We'll talk about self-motivation, self-improvement, self-development.
I'll talk about KFC, McDonald's, best Indians around Warsaw.
Yeah, we'll also have things where we'll get you all interactive.
Not just the boring bollocks.
We'll have you interactive with us. We'll give you options to drop things in the comments because obviously we'll put clips out. We'll have an email we'll give so you can send in suggestions. We'll have things where we can get you involved, maybe competitions.
We think the interactive thing is going to be quite important as well because, we're looking for a bit of input from you where we're going to say, write in with your dilemmas. We are going to have a section on the show actually called The Naughty Step. So
The Naughty Step?
What we're going to do is ask you to write in, email in, and give us a scenario where you think you might be in a bit of trouble.
Oh.
I don't know. For instance, like off the top of my head, you've banged your brother's bird, and you need some advice on what to do.
Ryan Giggs will be messaging
Ryan Giggs, his first email. But yeah, maybe you've done something wrong and you need a bit of advice.
Yeah,
we ain't saying you got to take out advice, but we're going to give you some advice. And if you have banged your brother's bird, you are a rat.
A wrong un.
Absolute
a wrong un. Years ago when I was doing like all my videos and stuff and everybody joined in, a lot of people were sending me messages for advice and stuff. I did do some which were quite sexually graphic. I won't be doing that, but if you want to...
Well, we will be doing that, but we'll be doing that on what we're going to call the Patreon show.
I do apologise.
That'll be on a separate platform to what you're watching now.
Yep.
And it'll be behind a very, very small paywall. But you can get a little bit You can go a little bit over the line.
Like back in my video
on
days.
Patreon without YouTube telling you you're an arsehole for saying something that you shouldn't have done.
This is new to me. Mickey's done all the research and he spent hours and hours watching and finding out what's the best equipment we can get, which is what we've got, all top of the range equipment and everything else. He's watched hours and hours and hours and hours, and I'm just like, he's fucking sat here for 6 hours watching podcast non-stop. So he knows more about this than me. I'm just more like getting involved and everything else. Now, with Patreon, what we will do is everybody who signs up, I've brought like 300 USBs. Okay, I have announced to people on my lives that I'm going to be selling these USBs for like £2-3 and they can just pay the postage because it's going to have like an hour or two mix on it. We'll give everybody a free USB. Who
Patreon's going to have a few bits on there that you'll get a good value for money.
We'll have giveaways and stuff as well.
If you do subscribe,
Prizes.
There's going to be USBs. There's going to be DJ mixes. There's going to be bits with guests that come on as well.
Yeah, we're having guests.
Some of them will probably be on the Patreon as well, as well as having a few of them, obviously, on YouTube and all your other daft social media places.
What you're going to see here on the platform that you're watching this right now, which is probably going to be either Facebook, YouTube, TikTok, Instagram. It's just going to be little clips. To see the full thing, you have to join our Patreon. So you're going to miss a lot of what we're actually talking about. We'll just highlight it, shorten it, and everything else. All right? We'll do things like giveaways, raffles, but there'll be no profit in the raffle. So we'll have something for a set amount, and we'll offer a prize, a ticket for however much. But say 50 tickets for £1, and it'll be something that's actually worth £50. We won't make any money from it at all. But then what we'll do is we'll invite you down to the studio and we'll give you the gift and we'll get you joined in on that episode or something and talk about some stuff about you, some stories, and we'll get you involved that way. So the options are endless what we're going to do, and it's going to be fun.
Yeah, basically neither of us know what we're fucking doing and we just
that's what makes it good, I think that's what's going to make it a little bit better.
So what sort of content are we going to be talking about then? Because obviously...
What, this one?
In general.
Well, I've already said we're going to talk about movies. Me and you are both big film fans and box set fans and series fans, So we'll cover a lot of that. Obviously, we're going to cover sport.
Okay.
From boxing, because we're both big boxing fans.
And what about like topical stuff as well? Are we going to hit?
Such as?
I don't know. Maybe we'll throw a topic at each other and go, let's discuss this.
Yeah.
So if I said to you, let's talk about parenting in 2025.
Oh, Mickey's controversial as fuck, by the way.
I'm not. I'm just honest.
Mickey's controversial. Yeah. I'm
just honest, man. Yeah. I say what I say. Always have done.
Yeah, we'll talk about anything. I'm not bothered.
Okay.
I just do not want to get involved in politics.
No, nor me.
Can't do it because
it just attracts better.
For example,
anyway.
right? You're either left, right, or racist.
And
they're the three things.
No, you're either left or racist. Yeah, we go in there. Look, we go in there. Let's. Yeah, you're either left or racist these days. So yeah, let's leave it there.
Yeah, but yeah, again, we'll ask you for suggestions.
Yeah.
We'll ask you to drop your comments in there. We'll ask you, we're talking about things, we'll say, whack in there what you think.
Stick in the comments what you want us to talk about, and we'll pick you out and give you a shout out.
If you want to do random things, I've got something.
Go on.
So, the other day I was watching a film.
Yeah.
I'm not going to tell you what it was. Right? But I was like, nah, that's not good as me. I could do better than that.
I know what type of film
right?
it was.
So I was thinking, no. And it got me thinking about what film have you ever seen that you could be part of or do better?
What do you mean, like be in the film, or do you mean like?
Well, yeah, be in the like not. In fact, could you be the main character? Could you see yourself as part of the supporting staff or part of a certain important scene?
Okay.
Is there anything like that where you'd look at and think, I could be in that film?
I could probably go one better. I've sat on my sofa and gone, I should be in this film.
What?
I was sat there watching Human Traffic, thinking, this is actually my life. This is me and my mates. Do you know the film Human Traffic?
Yeah, I'm a little bit blown away because when you watch it, it's everything we've done.
It's everything I was doing at the time. Literally, Human Traffic was us. The little circle of friends that I had, we were Human Traffic.
Do you want to, for those, because not everybody may know what human traffic is, do you want to give a brief outline of... I mean, we'll talk about it in depth in a minute.
Human Traffic basically is a film where a bunch of teenagers, maybe early 20s, university-type people, all got part-time jobs, you know, working in retail, working in fast food, that kind of thing. And then basically the long story short, when it comes to the weekend, they just want to let go and forget about the 9 to 5. Just live for the weekend. Everything they do in the week is for the weekend. And that was literally what we did for years.
And when they say live for the weekend, that means indulge.
Indulge on a few things that aren't on
any
normal menu.
And this was when the rave scene was popping.
Yeah.
When people raved. Not
get your phone out. This is when you left your phone at home.
This is when people just danced and raved and after parties in kitchens.
Yeah.
Because if you look at, I'm looking at human traffic now, and it's actually quite funny you mentioned human traffic because 2 or 3 days ago I watched Danny Dye be interviewed about human traffic. And originally he said that the director was looking for an all-Welsh cast. And Dan's like, please, let me play London and this whole fucking smash the scene for you, blah, blah, blah. And every time they interviewed somebody to be in the film, they asked them, have you done drugs?
Yeah.
The ones that says no got rejected.
Yeah, you can't be in the film. You can't play that part unless you've done it.
And Danny admitted that they were on drugs in the film.
Yeah, it wouldn't surprise me.
Because I've sat there at times and thought, nah, that is bang on. Bang on. And if you look at human traffic and where you fit in, Coop. Because you worked at Tempest.
Yeah, I worked in a record shop. Coop worked in a record shop. Coop loved the dance.
Coop's the DJ.
Coop is the DJ.
He's the DJ of one of the groups.
Yeah. But everything about that film, literally,
it's incredible.
Was my life. It was like, this is what we're doing on Friday. This is what we're doing on Saturday. When I wake up, if I get to bed on Sunday, we're going to the pub.
It was pretty much, I think it was literally like one of Danny Dye's first ever films, wasn't it?
I think it was.
It was a long.
I think he'd done a bit of
low budget ones, but I think that's the first one. Because he turned around and said in his interview that when they made the film, nobody would touch that film. No company.
I'm sure it got shelved for 2 years.
Would not release it, because they wanted someone to die.
What it was about, yeah.
No, they wanted somebody to die because they wanted to portray that drugs will kill you.
Yeah.
They're bad for you. And he was like, look, no, I just want to prove that we have drugs, we have a come down, we go out with our mates, and then get on
everybody has a fucking great time.
Not that we're promoting taking drugs, by the way, because we're not.
I'm not promoting it. I'm just saying, no,
we're not.
I didn't know the fucking great time.
But that's a good shout, human traffic. That's probably the only film anyone in our generation can relate to.
Everyone in our generation to be able to relate to that.
Because when we're always looking for things to talk about on the podcast, that will then lead us on to the clubbing scene. Because Carl Cox was in...
Yeah, Carl Cox was in it.
Carl Cox is in that as well. And that brings me to Birmingham.
Yeah.
And my experience and your experience of... I mean, do you remember the first real club that you went to in...
Yeah, 100%.
Is it... Yeah.
Well, I went to a few places.
Proper clubs. Don't forget, like, when I was young...
No, I went to a few places that you were told were clubs, but they weren't clubs. The first real one I went to was Sunday Central at Pulse.
Right, that's a real one. Because
that's what got me hooked.
The clubs that I were going to was like Harper's in Walsall Wood, which was
well, before I did Sunday Central,
the Zone and Ethos.
Yeah, the Zone and Ethos was down there, but I ended up in Gilbert's in Willenhall. And that was supposed to be a club, and it was nothing more than an empty room.
So let's look at it as your first ever real experience with Sunday
Central, definitely.
My first real experience, Baker's.
Top of Broad Street?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Upstairs?
Yeah.
Oh, my God. Oh my God. And it brings us on to the Birmingham clubbing scene and how brilliant that city is.
Oh, it's had some great brands come out of Birmingham.
I mean, even now, there's still some good
Sunday
stuff going
Central,
on.
obviously, like we've mentioned. Money Pennies.
Yeah. God's Kitchen.
Polysexual.
Mm.
Loads. And
Tintins.
then, obviously, Rainbow with Below.
But you even had Hidden and Moon Lounge days as well, which was still smashing it.
Silk City.
Oh.
That's another Birmingham
Yeah.
brand. They had a few. I know they had a few big garage things as well, but I wouldn't be able to tell you what they were called because that was before.
It was
I Eat Club.
incredible.
But Birmingham's definitely had some good brands.
I think Birmingham has been overlooked. You know,
in what sense? Because Sunday Central, people used to travel from all over the country for it.
But they would, like, everybody used to drive to, at the time, to Sheffield, to Gatecrasher, or to Niche.
No, Insomniacs we drove to.
No, but you see what I mean? So you've got that place where people would go to, but I think as a whole, we've always been looked over as, like, Birmingham's the place to go.
Yeah, I get what you mean. But in some senses, no. God's Kitchen, people used to travel for that. And definitely Sunday Central, because I made a lot of friends from up north, Leeds and Hull and that sort of way. They used to come down every week, drive down, do it and go home.
Yeah.
Not even a hotel.
Unreal. I'm, like, thinking back now to, like, that era.
For me, yeah. Sunday Central was the era for me.
Fuck. I'm just...
That's what made me... That's what made me pursue...
Well, yeah.
Staying in clubs and DJing.
Well, it was... Baker's and Scott Bond, and actually what happened, what got me into DJing was there used to be a pub in Walsall Wood opposite Brand's called the Horse and Jockey.
Yeah.
And when I was about 16, 17, my mate's brother used to DJ in there on a Thursday night, Matt Berry.
Okay.
And he used to play like speed, garagey stuff, and I thought, yeah, this is a bit of me, and that's when I started getting into it. And that got me into it. And then when I went to Baker's, I'm sure... I've got Scott Bond's name in my head.
I'm pretty sure Scott Bond would have played at Baker's, yeah.
Yeah, Scott Bond was playing, and he had nothing to do with the substances that I was on, but I loved him. And I loved the night, and that was me hooked.
Yeah.
Hooked. And I'll never, ever forget that night.
Well, when I went into Sunday Central for the first time, we had a little potter around like you do.
Yeah.
And I ended up above the DJ booth looking down over it. And... I think it was Paul Kershaw was on, but we only got about the last half hour of his set.
Yeah.
And Andy Farley came on after him. And I watched him for an hour without moving behind DJ booth.
Mesmerised.
Yeah, and I just had a look at the reception he was getting from, obviously, the crowd. Watch what he was doing and just went, I want to do that.
Do you think DJs still get that kind of reaction and appreciation now?
Yeah, I think so, yeah. I do think so, yeah. Because, you see a lot of videos where it still goes off, but everyone's got a phone in their hand and they're not in the moment.
Thing, that is.
My even though I weren't dancing at that point, I was in the moment just watching this guy mix records and get the reactions he was getting from, 1,200 people. Let
me just jump in here. So, at the start of this, when I introduced you to me, and this is Mickey, my brother-in-law, not sure if any of you are like familiar with the old bassline, speed, garagey days and stuff, and you're big into that music. Mickey's actually bass dominators.
One half of,
yeah, bass dominators. And I used to have some of your stuff on vinyl. And he always remembers that one of my favourite ever tunes is what?
Sexy DJ.
Sexy DJ. I had it on a 10-inch.
Yeah.
So if you're wondering who he is, bass dominators. So Sweet Dreams, unreal. And you still blew my mind when you told me that wasn't any lyrics.
Yes.
I couldn't believe that. It was pitched.
It was sampled off.
Fats and Small, isn't it?
Fats and Small, yeah.
Yeah.
Fats and Small re-sang it on a...
I couldn't fucking believe it. I actually thought it was Annie Lennox just tweaked.
We re-pitched it. You struggle to get that vocal anyway, because back in that times, you didn't have these DIY a cappella sites and stuff like that, so you couldn't, unless you had an a cappella, you weren't getting the vocal. Now you can get vocals of anything with AI.
Yeah, you can extract it now, like literally just put it into a thing and you've got the
Just
vocal
take the
clean.
vocal out. It's bizarre.
Clean. So, no, sorry to interrupt you. I just want to make people aware of who you are because you're talking about, like, it's got you into DJing and people might think, well, who's Mickey Williams? He's bass dominators.
I am.
And my brother made some bangers. Did you do Chain of Fools as well?
No, that was Dave.
Was he?
Unlawfuls did Chain of Fools.
Unlawfuls, didn't he? Right, okay.
On my label, but...
Still a banger.
Yeah. Bang,
So Mickey's
bang,
also...
Bang. We did Bang Bang.
Let's talk about Bang Bang. So when you release Bang Bang, Bang Bang is actually from, is it Kill Bill?
Yeah. Nancy Sinatra sample.
And he released the song before the film come out.
No, we released the song. We released the Speed Garage remix before Audio Bullies released their version, which was the... Yeah, we nearly got in trouble for that.
Yeah, and everyone was saying, Mickey, they've got to... But people were saying that Bass Dominator's song was in Kill Bill.
Our tune was in Kill Bill, where it was totally the opposite. The sample came from Kill Bill. So Kill Bill came out, and then Audio Bullies did a track. I can't remember what it was called, but they did a track, and it was getting released on EMI or something like that, some big label. And I heard the track and went, Speed Garage remix of that would work.
And it did?
So I sampled it, got the bits what I needed from Kill Bill, put the track together, played it a couple of times, and the reaction was ridiculous.
Yeah.
So pressed it, put it out. In fact, Dave pressed that. We pressed it. David Boy pressed that one.
Okay.
And put it out. And within an hour of it being out, EMI on the phone to one of the record shops saying, who's done that? We need to have a word with them. And they made them stop selling it.
Wow.
But we still sold out on what we pressed.
Yeah.
Still sold out. But it was, that's probably our biggest Speed Garage track, to be fair.
Is it?
Mm.
So what you up to now?
Much of the same, really, except it's all in that shitty digital age
No,
that
what
nobody appreciates.
No, what I mean is, so back then, in the Speed Garage bassline scene, as bass dominators, you were doing this and that. That was a long time ago.
Yeah.
Now you're kind of back.
Back? Did we go away?
Yeah, you did. You hated it.
Production-wise.
Yeah.
No, I just got my arse in my hands because of the whole MP3 thing, I think.
And Dudley Donks.
And Dudley Donks being
Okay, so
shite.
but let's look at as though now you are. You've been back a while, but let's just pretend you.
We came... about 2 years ago, we went back in the studio and did something for the first time in about 10.
And now you're starting to.
And now the label launched back up last year.
Which is called
Criminal Records. So on your excuse me, on your Spotify's and Beatports and that, Criminal Records are on there. We've got about 29 releases at the minute, all out.
A couple of them are mine.
I think yours is out this week, actually.
Yeah.
Saying that. Yeah, we decided just to give the label another bash and have a little go at the streaming world.
And how are you getting on with it?
Yeah, it's all right. It's all right. It's not.
Going for a shit, son.
You're not...
Walking past, waving the toilet rollers to say, I'll be back in a minute.
Yeah, it's... You ain't paying your mortgage off with what you earn no more. In fact, it's pretty shit.
Correct me if I'm wrong, but you have never been in music for money.
No. But it was a nice... little touch when...
Okay.
You know, you used to press vinyl and you'd sell your 500 vinyl and make yourself 800-900 quid.
Yeah.
You sell 500 MP3s, it ain't quite the same. You're lucky to make fucking 200 quid.
Yeah, because 99 pence. And then the fees and all
that. That's why I knocked it on the head, 10, 12 years ago. But we've sort of come back with, if we're not going to make that much money, we're going to make music we like rather than music we're trying to sell.
Yeah.
which is that's all where we've took it at the minute.
Because you do have some websites and labels and stuff who will just accept anything to release.
Yeah. There's a few of them.
Remember Big Tunes?
Fucking hell.
Danny Bonds?
No, Ryan Blythe.
Oh, Ryan Blythe. Yeah,
Ryan
sorry,
Blythe's
Danny. Yeah, Ryan Blythe.
Yeah, Ryan
Big
Blythe.
Tunes.
But you could just put anything on there.
He never paid loads of people.
Can imagine.
So, some of the tunes that I've played on my lives recently, I have announced that they're on Criminal Records, and I did say if the live stops, it's because this has been signed and I'll get done with copyright, even though it's my own. Is there a way around me playing my own music if it's been signed?
Nope.
Really?
No.
That's incredible.
Because it doesn't belong to you anymore.
Wow.
That's the mad part about it.
Copyright laws are ridiculous.
As soon as the label signs it belongs to the label for however many years you've given them for.
How many have I given mine for?
Oh, that's all indefinite contracts.
Do you know what he says to me? He says, what are you doing? Well, make some tunes on my label. I don't run that Dudley shit.
Well, I don't like it. It's fucking crap.
So I did about 30 or 40 tracks. I said, yeah, have all them. Take your pick of what you want. Wherever you don't want, just throw in a bit. I was playing for fun. And then he says, I need this. Listen to this. And he released a real good speaker actually and go, can you feel it? Or is it I Can Feel It?
Can you feel it?
Can you feel it?
That's one of the tracks off the forthcoming album.
Oh, and I heard it and I was like, oh, yeah. And he said, look, I need you to do, because Mickey knows I'm into like bass drum and techie stuff. He said, how do you feel about doing me a tech remix, which I played on live on Thursday. Incredible. So, why are you releasing techie stuff on a Speed Garage Bassline UKG/underground label?
The label's not really. It's not specific. If I like a track, I'll sign it.
Okay.
It don't matter if it's a house track, whether it's a Speed Garage track. It can be a dubstep track. If I like it, I'll sign it. And that remix you've done isn't aimed for the label, but it's in a remix package. So me and Riggs under Bass Toms, we've done a 15-track album.
Yeah.
Which is hopefully going to be out in July.
Okay.
So 15 tracks, and they're all bassline orientated from beginning to end.
Apart from mine.
No. If you let me finish. Them 15 tracks me and Riggs have produced together.
Okay.
Then what we've had done is every track we've had remixed by someone else.
Okay.
So once the album's out, and that's had a few weeks to a month sales, we're then going to release the album in singles.
Okay.
And every single's going to have a remix from someone.
Nice.
I actually think B15 are remixing the one you've done as well.
Really?
Yeah, I think he's doing that. Gussie. But we've also got like Ed Case has done a remix. Rico Tubbs has done a remix.
Your Pattern Perception. I like it.
Pattern Perception's doing one. Wristlock, which is Sam Townend from Tidy.
Yeah.
There's a few others as well. Hopefully,
Quattro?
Jeremy Sylvester.
Quattro's doing some good stuff, you know.
No, he's not on there.
Have you approached him? Does some decent stuff, you know. Quattro does.
Yeah.
I'll drop him a message.
I play a few of his bits. He gave me one about a year or so ago. Go back up your shit and go. That one. That's a really good one. And
You and I's good.
He done a remix of a garage track as well.
Paul,
which
is
yeah, it's quite good.
Nice guy.
Yeah, what else we got on there? Can't think of it.
And you get Mavericks.
Established 81. They've done one, and John Bacari's got the parts to do one as well.
John Bashiri?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
remember the days of John?
There's a lad called R2R who's done one as well. He's a up-and-coming producer, but he's doing some really nice bits. Higher Sector, a couple of drum and bass.
James is doing some, is he? Be really dark and dirty then.
Yeah, a bit grimy, but like I say, if I like the track,
yeah,
it can go on the label.
What if he doesn't? You don't like it though?
I'll just leave it where it is.
Ripper.
It is what it is. You know, if you've been asked to do one. If we've asked you to do a remix, we obviously already believe in what you do.
Yeah. Can Riggs not bang out D&B?
Riggs?
Yeah.
I don't think he's ever tried properly, to be honest.
We look at doing it.
You gotta have a bit of a knowledge behind it. If you don't listen to something all the time, it's a bit more difficult to produce it, isn't it? But yeah, anyway, hopefully the album will be out July.
So remember to get yourself onto Spotify. Criminal Records. Have you got clips of anything?
Spotify, you'll have to search Bass Dominators because
is it on Bass Dominators?
Yeah, Spotify don't bother with the label; they just portray artists.
Oh, okay. So I don't know. So it's Bass Dominators, which is the same thing. I mean, in your SoundCloud,
go listen to my track, and I can earn minus 0.003 pence.
It's the same as SoundCloud, isn't it? Your Criminal Records is under Bass Dominators.
Bass Dominators is on SoundCloud, yeah.
Okay. I was going to say something. I forgot what it was. I had something to ask you, and I forgot what it was, and you threw me off. Oh, Maverick. I was talking about Brett Maverick.
Brett?
Yeah.
Nah, I ain't asked him to do one. Too grimy. Brett does some grimy shit.
But you've asked Rico Tubbs, who was like...
Yeah.
James, who's...
He's done a really good speed garage ring, Rico has.
Has he?
Yeah. Really good speed garage track.
What was the...
Ed Case has done an absolute banger as well.
Ed Case, best tunes ever made, Blazing.
Yeah. Well, he's done one for us. And his remix is fucking fire, man.
What was the genre called that Rico and that used to play?
Fidget.
Fidget. Fidget, remember that?
Fidget house.
That went like...
Fucking, and then just died on its arse after about a month.
Fidget.
Some good bits that used to come out of that.
Yeah.
Some really good bits. And then,
He just spiked so high.
Literally died on its arse.
Dropped, didn't it?
Yep.
Was that a Birmingham sound?
Nah. I'd imagine it would be more of a London thing.
You reckon?
Yeah, I know Will started making it. Will Bailey, Low Stepper. He made under Twocker, I think it was. Twock or Twocker. Yeah, he made a few good bits. But it was never going to last very long, man.
It's like when the jacking scene popped up.
You ain't listening to that all night, every night. No soul in it, is there?
Well, I think the same about dubstep.
Yeah, dubstep has... It depends what you listen to.
Shit, I think it's all just racket.
Nah. Depends what you listen to.
Oh, God.
It sounds like one of your mixes.
Wow. I'm sitting here bigging you up and stuff and praising you, and this is how I get treated. Fucking hell. Nice one, yeah. Appreciate it. Okay, so going on from Criminal Records, I did another tech tune the other day because I've had a tech tune signed to a label before, Feel and Flow. Got snapped up straight away.
Yeah.
So I could actually approach, I've done stuff for New State as well. I've done stuff for Beef for Nights. So I've had tunes signed left, front, centre. Obviously, all my stuff's been on Kiss and Capitol. And I made this tune the other day. And Mickey said to me, "What are you doing with that tune?" I says, "I don't know. I might make a couple more and I'll dish them out." And he hit me with, "Do you still want to crack on with your own record label?" Which shocked me. I didn't think Mickey was going to say that to me. So, in relation to Criminal Records, and the reason why I said to him, "Why are you releasing other stuff on Criminal?" is because me and Mickey are now going to relaunch my record label together, so it'll be half Mickey's, Pink Chimp, which you're going to get sorted.
Pink Chimp Records.
Pink Chimp. And that will be, I'm not going to touch any bass line, I'm not going to touch any speaker.
Strictly house.
So it'll all be, I'll have organ, some decent organ house that's coming out, like commercially stuff that comes out.
All house stuff.
All house and the good tech that I like playing and listening to. So again, I'll be very, very similar to you.
Yeah.
If I like it, I'll have it. If I don't, I won't.
Yeah, simple.
So if you've
got to be like that with your label. If you're not like that, if you don't believe in what you're putting out, what's the point in putting it out?
Well, some people believe.
Because I listen to some shite, and I sit there and think a label manager, an A&R, has listened to that and gone, "I can push that, and it's great, and it's dreadful."
Dead.
And we just hate that label, man. If I won't play it.
Yeah,
I ain't putting it out.
With me, I'm a big fan of vocals. I like to have vocals on my stuff. I'm not one for dubs. And I like things to be energetic.
Yeah.
Not too deep, housey cool. I like to have that drive in a track. It hasn't got to be in your face, whoa, but something's got a nice beat and then, lively. Your percussion hasn't got to be too hard. Your drop and your bass hasn't got to be too bum, 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 as long as it's nice and good. So if you're out there and you're getting into music, or if you're into music and you just want to get your tracks over to me, send them to me, to my Facebook or to Instagram. Send me your SoundCloud links or whatever. I'll have a listen. If I like them, I'll grab them and we'll have a chat, and Mickey will have a chat with you and we'll get them signed to Pink Chimp. So I'm going to get all that sorted next week, so that record label should be up and running within a month.
Yeah, man. I think that's a good part, just to have a little break.
Okay, so I can go to the toilet. Right, and welcome back to the second and final half of the show, I suppose. Had a nice little break. And this is the part where we start doing the interaction with the viewers. Now, normally what we would do is read out stuff that you've sent in, but because it's brand new, we've got nothing to send in. But because we knew we were going to do this, we asked around friends, family, work colleagues, and everything else. Okay. This one is for the naughty step. Now, we highlighted this earlier and give you a quick explanation of what it involves.
Dilemma.
It's dilemmas, yeah. So if you've done something and you don't know what to do, blah, 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 right? So I asked around in work, I asked some of my friends and family, Mickey's done the same, because we need to get some content to give you an idea of the kind of stuff that we're looking for, all right? I've got one that I'm going to start. So this isn't come from you guys, it's come from somebody at work, but we're going to act as though it's coming from you so you will know what we will be like when you send yours in, all right? So let me bring this up. I'm going to have to get my phone out for this one because it's written down. It was quite funny. So I need to bring the email up. All right. You'll like this one.
Okay.
Okay. Right.
I haven't heard this, by the way, so...
Yeah, I haven't told Mickey at all. So things like this, we won't tell each other. So at times when we get emails and stuff, either the one week I'll pick them up and Mickey won't look. The next week, Mickey will pick them up and I won't look. So what we read out, he's hearing it for the first time. All right. So the place that I work, I am head of sales and operations. Okay. And we're in a building where I control the entire floor for one side, but then we've also got like customer services, billing, and all this kind of stuff around the other side. All right. And some time ago, one of my members of staff, I'm gonna have to change what they say they've brought in, because if I say what they've actually brought in, we'll know who it is. Like if certain people bring certain things in, like cookies and donuts and biscuits and everything else. All right, so I'm going to actually change what it is that they've brought in. Otherwise, people are going to know who it is.
Okay.
All right. So, Wayne, the week that I decided to bring in, I had to bring in let's use cupcakes.
Yeah.
Okay. Just I'm covering the person. So they brought in cupcakes. Yeah. And no, I read it wrong. I thought he brought in. It's not. He was given one.
Oh, okay.
Okay, so he was given a cupcake.
Yeah.
All right. And he's told the girl that he couldn't have one because he's cutting out dairy.
Okay.
All right. Now, me being me, my sarcasm, yeah, I turned around and went, "Oh, you're a vegan then. You're one of them, the veganists, right?" Well, he nodded and said, "Yeah."
Okay.
Right? Anyway, she's asked him out since, right?
Yeah.
So this all originated from, we all bring in things. Now, I normally bring in, I'll go to Morrison's and I'll buy like 10 packs of 10 cookies.
Yeah.
I'll whack them all in a box. I'll go around and give it to everybody.
Yeah.
Right? Somebody will bring in donuts. Somebody will bring in this and that. So, so she's brought in cupcakes because I've had to say cupcakes because she's the only person who brings a certain thing in. Right? So she's brought in cupcakes. He said, no, I don't want one. I've took the piss. I went, what's the matter? Because he said he's, cutting out dairy. And I said, you're a vegan, ripped him, blah, blah, blah. So no, she's invited him out. And she starts talking about plant-based products.
Okay.
Right? And recipes and stuff. And when our directors and stuff don't come often, this is long-winded now, but it shouldn't be this, right? But because it's somebody at my work, I've got to try and swindle it in ways where no one in work knows what it is. If you send it in, we can just read it out normal, right? Now, it's not often at work our board or directors or whatever come down, right? But not too long ago, our CEO, ops director, finance director came to the office.
Yeah.
And she introduced him as one of our dedicated vegans in the office.
Okay.
he never corrected that. He went along with it.
For how long?
So he said, Wayne, the problem is I'm not a vegan, right? I fucking love bacon. Right? And I fucking love cheese. And now she's invited him to a vegan weekend retreat with her. What do I do? Because the girl, in his eyes, is beautiful. He really likes her.
Okay.
They're hitting it off, right? But he's not a vegan. She must be a full-on. It doesn't even say if she is.
I'd imagine so if she's fucking talking about
so she's talking about plant-based recipes, and she's told the directors that he's a dedicated vegan. He didn't correct her.
So basically, he's refused a cupcake.
I took the piss. Called him a vegan. He's just gone, oh yeah.
She thought he was.
And everybody thinks he's a vegan.
And so he's had no meat at work for however long he's been there.
Yeah, so he's not eating meat at work because of her.
Okay.
He's not having cheese because of her. She now wants to take him away to a vegan retreat. So she must be vegan then.
Yeah.
What do? Do I admit the truth and look ridiculous and possibly lose her for lying? Or keep up the charade and hope no one catches me with a cheeseburger? So in a nutshell, the guy's lied to impress a girl. Instead of correcting me and going, no, Wayne, I'm not a vegan, right? He's agreed. He's gone along with it. She thinks he's vegan. He's not corrected her at all. He's obviously been on dates when they've gone to vegan restaurants or whatever.
Wow.
But now she wants to go to a vegan retreat for like a weekend or whatever them vegan retreats do. And what, they're going to cut the grass and fucking eat it?
Mate, my fucking dog died that weekend.
What's a vegan retreat?
Definitely not going there.
Nettle soup.
I don't know what it fucking is.
So what does he do? Because he obviously likes the girl.
What's a vegan retreat?
Don't know.
I don't quite.
I don't know.
Fucking, what is a vegan retreat? You just go there and eat leaves. That's it.
That's what I'm saying.
Talk about, what is it? Tofu.
Tofu. Oh, God. People at work have that.
Hummus.
And hummus, lentils. They live on lentils. Wayne, try this. No, thanks.
No, I'm all right.
No, thanks. So this is the kind of thing. This is the dilemma now. This is where does this guy get put on the naughty step for lying?
This poor bastard's dipping his wick into something he likes.
Yeah.
But to do it, he's got to pretend he's vegan now forever.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's a tough one for him.
Yeah. Would you lie?
I wouldn't have lied in the first place. I'd have said, no, I'm not a vegan. Pass me a cheeseburger.
But maybe he thinks that she likes him because he's vegan. Well, then again, that's wrong on her.
Oh, yeah, and then she's a judgmental bitch.
Michael.
Well, she is. The geezer likes a fucking
Come on
cheeseburger. He likes a cheeseburger.
Yeah, but...
She likes lettuce. She likes lettuce. That's up to her.
Okay, but this is the thing with what I found with vegans and some vegetarians is you kind of have to cater for their needs in restaurants and stuff.
Yeah, that's fine. But
no, they want you to eat what they eat.
No.
Bro, I dated a vegetarian.
I don't care.
See what you're having? I'm having a Wagyu fillet. Oh, really? Made me feel guilty. I like a bit of Wagyu.
Nah, I ain't having that. If it's one of them, you know, if you want to believe in God, believe in God.
Don't bring religion. Rewind that shit.
No, I'm just saying it's the same concept. If you want to eat leaves. But I want a nice piece of chicken. I ain't going to I definitely ain't going to a vegan retreat.
He's fucked.
And your lad here,
he's fucked.
He's a fucking bellend, to be honest.
He's fucked. How's he gonna get out of that?
So you know he's probably come anonymous. But when you go into work on Monday, just tell him Mick said you're a bellend. Because he's backed himself into a corner there.
Yeah.
He's got to quit the meat to get the meat.
I wonder if he eats her.
No, because he's probably got nettles down there. Knickers made of nettles.
Wow, that dropped.
I don't know. There's definitely something going on with that.
So this is the definition of the naughty step, right? This is prime of the guy's done something to charm a girl, and I caused this.
Yeah, but he's fucked
because she's from a different department. Well, she's not even in my department.
He's fucked himself up now because you know he's obviously liking the fanny.
And you wouldn't lie for a bit of binge.
Not if I was going to stay with her. Did he expect to fall in love with her, or did he just want to rub her up a little bit?
Well, he must like her, because now he's like, you know, to go to a weekend retreat together, something's been going on for a while.
Backfired on him a bit, though, eh?
Yeah. And he likes her.
I reckon, I think you should just tell her. Just say, look, I'm lying to myself here. As nice as you are, I could live without eating a bit of meat.
Blame me.
Well, yeah,
Wayne started this.
Wayne's a twat.
Wayne started this. Wayne called me a vegan, right? And I just went along with it for then. You assumed, and I didn't want to hurt your feelings.
Because you're a vegan and you don't like dead animals.
And you don't have feelings anyway. You got no soul.
Animals don't have feelings.
Do you know how bad of a conversation this is? We're gonna have vegans and vegetarians watch us.
Dead chickens don't have feelings.
Neither does a cow when it goes shock it.
Neither does a lettuce when you throw it into the back of a truck.
Yeah. I think you should tell her.
I would tell her, because if I've got a choice of getting a bit of honey for the rest of my life and not eating meat, or eating meat and going to meet some other fanny instead.
But she might accept it. She might say, okay, well, why?
She's going on a vegan retreat. She ain't going to accept meat. She's going on a retreat? What? I need to Google what the fuck that even is.
Can you Google what a vegan retreat is? Ethan's on
What is a vegan retreat? Because I can't get my head around that. You go somewhere. What is it like?
To do veganism stuff.
Yeah. What is it like?
I don't know.
Well-being, mind and well-being thing. Yeah, there you go. That's what I just said. Yeah. A wellness for people that couldn't hear that. A wellness experience.
I couldn't think of anything
for
worse.
People on a plant-based lifestyle.
Can you not get that mic? Lift that mic up.
It's not on.
Is it not on?
No.
Don't worry, it's not on. It's a place for mental illness. Yeah. Shut up!
That explains a lot.
Show me.
Mental well-being, that's what it's going to be. Retreat, isn't it?
So a vegan retreat is a type of wellness experience that emphasizes a plant-based lifestyle, offering accommodation, meals and activities focused on well-being and animal welfare. The retreat typically features vegan meals, and some may include yoga, meditation, or other activities related to physical and mental health. Wow.
I don't know what to say. you can actually go somewhere to free your mind and eat leaves.
Just stay at home and have a salad. Save your money because that's not going to be cheap.
Nah, of course
Places like that,
definitely not.
they milk the system.
Of course they do. But you get a yoga class included.
Okay, so
7 till 8.
right, so that
Yoga, and if you're not up, you've missed your class.
you can't have any grapes. That is an example of what we want. That's a bad example, right? But we don't have an audience to ask you to write in. So
write in, give us something
and
to
then
read. We'll read it.
I had to cover his arse.
We'll-
Right? Well, we can change your name to Rita, Sue, or Bob.
Yeah, you can remain anonymous.
Yeah, but that story, there was too many moving parts for people to know that was in the office. So I had to change a lot, and it kind of threw me off. But it gives you an idea of what we're looking for. Yeah, does that make sense? Just send us in your scenarios, dilemmas, awkward situations, if you need advice or whatever else. Get them in. And you can even say, Wayne, I want your advice, or Mickey, I want your advice, or I want both your advice, whatever. We're open to suggestions.
What are you trying to say?
You'd be better at giving advice on some things than me.
Like?
Relationship advice.
Would I?
Yeah.
Why would I?
Hello? Hello?
Fucking married 14 years.
Exactly. What have I been doing for the last 14 years?
Trying to suck your own knob.
I can do that anyway.
Dickhead.
All right, so that's that. While we're on the subject of just introducing what else we're doing, we do something called Get in the Bin.
Yes, and I reckon this is going to be one of my favourite subjects to talk about.
So I'm going to let Mickey explain what Get in the Bin is.
Right, so basically, this is a section of the show that we're going to do where we personally eradicate something from society that we think is fucking pointless.
Okay.
So it can be anything you want in the world. You can get rid of it today.
So is this like room 101?
A little bit, yeah. So you can put it, whatever you want in the bin, and it's gone.
Okay, is this just for me and you to decide, or we're going to ask them to give us things
No, they can write in and give us their own. Get in the bins, we can discuss them as well if you want, and then we'll decide whether we put theirs in the bin.
Okay.
So, yeah, write in. And if we want to, we'll put yours in the bin if we think it's worthy.
So, Mickey, right, he's a typical, I'm not saying he's miserable, but Mickey finds things.
I'm miserable.
No, you're not, but you can be like, what's the fucking point of that? And why are they doing that? And why? So this is perfect for you.
Yeah.
And I'm looking forward to it because I'm very, very chilled. Not a lot bothers me. I'm like, yeah, whatever. But him, on the other hand, he can find faults in literally everything. So kick us off with the first ever ranting and raving, Get in the Bin.
Okay. First one I want to put in the bin. Parent and child car parking spaces.
I was not expecting that.
Why not? Something to fuck off out of society that is pointless. They are pointless.
They're there for a reason, Michael.
Yeah. What reason?
For parents and child.
Yeah.
So they've got more room and access and stuff and push chair and everything.
Okay, I'm glad you mentioned the room thing because why are the parent and child spaces always at the front of the superstores?
Because
No. Okay, tell me this. They're accessible for parents and children. There's a little bit more room. You can open your door to grab your sprog out the back.
Okay.
Yeah. You put the pram at the back of the car anyway, like you would if you was in a normal spot.
Yeah.
So you got an extra couple of inches to get the kid out.
Well, if it's a newborn, you've got to get the
matter.
seat out and stuff.
Pick it up by the hood. It'll be all right. Right. So, if them car parking spaces weren't at the front, let's just say you got your disabled ones.
Yeah.
Then you got your parent and baby, and then you got a load of others. Put them parents and babies to the back of the car park. And shall I tell you how many parents would use them?
All of them?
None.
None?
No, they wouldn't.
Why?
Because there'd be 6 or 7 empty spaces where you've moved them from, and they'd use the normal car parking spaces there. They only use them because they're not at the back of the store. They're at the front. If them car parking spaces, right, so let's just say my local supermarket, my local Asda, I come out the door, yeah. There's about 7 or 8 spaces which are disabled down the side.
Yeah.
And then just in front of you over the road, there's about 6 or 7.
Yeah, because you've got like a wall, haven't you?
Yeah. So there's about 6 or 7 parent and babies, right? If them parent and babies was at the other side of the car park and then the space there was normal car parking spaces, all them mothers and fathers with their little kids would park in the same fucking spot. You know I'm right. Because they wouldn't walk from the back of the car park.
No, I'm just trying to...
They're just there because some entitled mother at some point went, oh, I had to walk from the back with my little baby in the pram. Well, fucking so what? It's in a pram. Push it. It's not like you're fucking balancing it on your head. It's in the pram. Push it.
You see what I mean? Yeah. So what's the difference between disabled then?
If I'm honest, probably not a lot. Some people will need one if they've got physical disability, but...
Like what?
I don't know, something wrong with their leg and they can only walk so far.
But they're about to walk around Asda?
This is why I said not really much. Again, bigger spaces, but if they were further around the car park, they wouldn't use them.
I know someone.
Yeah.
Who's got, I think it's ADHD.
Yeah.
And got a disabled badge.
Yeah, in the fucking park there. Them badges, it's like they give them out to anybody. I got ADHD, I got fucking OCD, I got this.
You parked
no,
outside,
if it's some woman who's got a wheelchair and she has to have the side open, like for the ramp to come out and stuff like that, that's what that's there for. Yeah, fair enough. That's you don't get that in parent and baby. All you're doing is fetching your kid out the door. That's it. That's the only difference.
So you know when we discuss these get in the bin,
yeah,
are we going to decide it goes to the bin? Or are we going to put it to a vote? I think we should put it to a vote. We shouldn't be able to decide whether this goes in the bin or not. I think you should argue I think you should take control. So every get in the bin is yours to deal with. And you can negotiate or deal and talk to the listeners and viewers and they can give them, you can put them forward. I think you should put your cases forward and let them decide if it goes in the bin or not.
We need to find something online that we can use as a voting tool then.
Just give them to comment and we'll add them up.
I ain't sitting there fucking counting comments. Fucking more pointless than the actual parent and baby parking spot.
You can get a poll thing, can't you?
You got to get a Facebook group and all that type of shit.
Yeah, you can get a thing where you just put a poll on and post a link and they can click the link, yes or no.
All right, we'll see.
I think that's better, letting them decide if it goes in the bin than you, because you'll argue me all day long. It's going in the bin.
No, it's going all day long. It needs to go in the bin because, well, how about I put it to you and then you say, actually, yeah, I think you got a bit of a point there.
Oh, I don't agree with you.
Don't agree with you. Why?
Because what if? Right, because again, even like you're going on about disabled might need a ramp or something, well, that'd be the exact same thing at the back.
But a disabled person in a fucking wheelchair ain't the same as pushing your kid in a pram.
But why? Because you can just get in your wheelchair, you can't wheel your way in from the back into...
They have to have the ramps and stuff to get out the wheelchair.
Have ramps at the top.
You don't need a ramp to get your pram out the boot. Your fucking boot's facing it out anyway.
She could have not long give birth.
Well, fucking stay in the house then.
And how is she going to feed the baby if the baby needs milk or whatever?
Get on fucking Uber Eats. Send it you through Uber. My argument ain't about why they're there. It's my argument is where the spots are. Why do they have to be at the front?
Why are you so bothered?
I like parking in them.
What?
I park in them.
You haven't got a baby?
I have. He's 13. And I enjoy parking in them. I park in them on purpose because I just think they're pointless. You get about an extra 6 inches either side. I just think they're absolutely pointless.
That's funny.
They're just pointless. So, yeah, my first get in the bin for the series, for the show.
Okay, so for the first one, I will say, okay, I'll let you.
Parent and toddler. What is it? Parent and baby. Parent and child.
Baby. We can't say parent and child because then you can take Alfie. He's 19.
I do take Alfie. If Alfie's in my car, I'll park in that space. He's a child. He's my child. Don't matter if he's 19. He can stay there in the car while I go into nip in.
Okay. Okay. All right. Well, for this one, we'll put that in the bin. But I think moving forward, we'll look for a poll thing. We'll let people decide whether it deserves to go in the bin or not.
Okay, and then we'll give the results out on the next show.
Yeah.
So, parent and child car parking spaces.
Officially in the bin.
In the bin. Or move them to the back of the car park. See how many people
you got to choose.
Wouldn't that be mental, though, if one day you walked, you drove onto Asda and Asda decided, you know what? I'm going to put them at the back and see if they use them.
Imagine if they see this.
I guarantee they'd all be empty.
Would you park them then?
No, I'd park at the front where I normally do. Because then parent and baby spaces won't be there anymore.
Okay. That's on you.
Parent and baby parking spaces in the bin, please.
What do you think of that then?
Fucking get rid of them. That's what I think of them.
There you go. So what we want you to do is send in your dilemmas for the naughty step. Send in your suggestions for getting the bin. Any other things we want to do or we want to start working with these?
Nah, just say them for now. See what sort of response we get.
Yeah, as we start moving along and getting used to it and getting to know what we're doing, we'll ask you to be more involved. And, you know, we're not the kind of podcast where we just do material and then just allow you to view it. This is more about engagement. And we are really going to get involved with the viewers on this. Feedback, suggestions, stories, you know, because I'm all about having a laugh, right? There will be some very, very serious parts in here, things where people will need help, and there's a lot of things I can help with. We'll also have good fun, inspirational people on with guests. Some of the guests we're going to be
we're going to have some guests on, a few inspirational people. We're going to have a few entrepreneurs. We're going to have a few comedians.
Yeah,
we're going to have a few of our mates on as well. We're going to have a few DJs, producers, club promoters.
I'll also have
anyone with a story.
Yeah, like you may have seen the clip that I put up with Ethan was sat in Mickey's chair and Mac, who works for me, sat in his chair and they were talking about Ethan going to Barcelona. And if you've not seen it, go on my wall and on Facebook and watch that clip. I'll have random people like that on if they bring humour to the channel.
Yeah, definitely.
And some of Mac's stories that he says he has me in fucking pieces, and he's really, really good to have on, even if I haven't a guest and me and Mickey talk, and he just joins in as and when, because he's not going to have a story to tell us such as like as a local lad and what he's done, but his comments and his humour and stuff may add to one of the sessions that we do. So we'll be doing that as well. You know, there's no limit to who we will or who we want on. Again, suggestions, you should get so-and-so on there, Wayne. Okay, I'll have a look at their profile. I'll get Mickey to check them out. We'll go over everything. If we think, we'd love to have that person on for the day. Even if it's just somebody local who's just funny and got opinions. And
someone who's an opinionated.
Yeah, we'll get them on. As long as they're not a dick and going to argue, because I'll just fucking drag them out. But if they're good fun, like a laugh and, you know, we'll get them on, get their voice heard, get their opinion and all that. And that's what this is all about. This is... Yeah. You've interrupted this to tell me that Sunderland have won the playoffs. What did I say earlier?
You little sausage.
Sunderland will win. Yeah. So that's what we'll do. So Ethan will come on. Some of the things he comes out with are fucking brilliant. Absolutely kills me. So yeah, that's what it's all about.
Yeah, man.
Happy?
Yeah, I'm happy.
Done?
Yep.
We'll see you soon.
See you on the next one.